Welcome to Man Talk 133. This is where men unite. What's up, my boy?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Man, we back at it again, dog.
Yeah, man. How you feeling?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. Pretty good week so far. Been hot, but
Hmm.
it's all good though. We making it happen.
Oh
You know what I'm
yeah, oh
saying?
yeah.
We making it happen.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
this what we talking about tonight. Anybody can relate to it, but I want to specifically target the men because
Hmm.
we got a hard problem with this one right here, dog.
Right.
The question to you is, do men grieve?
Yeah, I would say yeah. But when we grieve though, the
Mhm.
problem is that though when we grieve and we don't let it out. We grieve in private.
Right, there you go. There you go.
you know.
Well, I guess a better question would be,
Mhm.
do men know how to grieve?
I would say now that's the core. Yeah, that I would say no.
I would go say
I
the
would
same thing
yeah,
now.
I would say nah. We ain't gonna show it, man. We ain't gonna show it.
I was thinking about, how you see guys come home from the military in different places. Matter of fact, I
Hmm.
was in the store one day and it was a guy, he had been probably, I would say 70 almost. And he was
Hmm.
still talking about some stuff he saw in Vietnam, how
Right.
some of the people's top of their body got blew off and their legs kept running and stuff like
Hmm.
that. And he
That's
was just
crazy.
saying, yeah, he was like, man, I don't care how much medication they give you,
Right.
it don't help. You
Right.
still see it. So now the situation, now that's an extreme situation, like,
Hmm.
versus a guy, breaking up with his girlfriend or wife or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
But it is some extreme cases where people actually lose their mind because they don't know how to grieve,
Yeah, man. That's when a lot of guys, they that's when they seek out their alcohol, them drugs,
self-medicating.
self medication. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I knew a lot of the guys that, well, you probably know more of them than I do. A lot of people that came
Hmm.
home from the military, man, they drink a lot, a whole
Right.
lot. They just drink.
Right.
I mean, guys like you that gave it up, but a lot of them, when they used to come
Yeah.
home, man, they used to just drink and drink and drink and drink. It'd be so much drink, you be like, bro, what is you doing with all that? You know what I'm saying? And they
Right.
self-medicate. I guess every time they think of something, they take another one to just kind of make them feel better and just keep feeling better over and over and over and
Right.
over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah.
It's just like, man, it's just like, like I said, when I came back, like, I was able to quit on my own after a few years, but like
Hmm.
when I came back, I mean, how I used to get down,
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
drinking a
yeah,
little
for
bit,
sure.
and
Yeah.
it was kind of it'll affect you,
Yeah.
like places like that too, I
Yeah.
know because you brought a guy from Vietnam or
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. So yeah, it will. Yeah, but see, the thing about it is, like a lot of times you don't even know what it is
Right.
for a
Right.
lot of military guys. They don't even know what it is. They just thinking they drinking and having fun, and next thing they might be turning a bar out or something.
Self-medicate, dog.
Yep.
They don't know what it is. That's why I asked the question, do they even know how to grieve? Or do they know what grieving
Mm-mm.
is? Because you think about it, when you're in the military or just, people in the streets, you
Mm-hmm.
they don't they don't know how to turn that on and off. Like if they
Right.
train just to, if you got to take somebody out, you just got to do it.
Right.
And you go to the next thing and then to the next thing
Mm-hmm.
and the next thing. And they don't have like this thing in place where they can turn it off and like
That's true.
detox. And
Right.
all they know is like this. And they think it's normal. Like gang
Right.
members. They think it's normal to, to because of the trauma and all the stuff they've been through. They think it's a
Mm-hmm.
normal thing and they don't know how to grieve. You know what I'm saying?
Because you remember when Sean passed, right?
Yeah, Sean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Hmm.
see, I was over there then
Uh-huh.
when he passed, and you know how I found out he passed.
How's
I
that?
got I got a letter from mom,
Dear
but
John.
see, yeah, what they was trying to do, they was trying to get me home. I didn't know that they was trying to
Uh-huh.
get me home, through the Red Cross and all that, right?
Uh-huh.
but they want, for some reason they want to sign off. And next thing I know, I got a letter. They saying they tried to do all they could do, but they couldn't
Uh-huh.
get me home, right? So
Yep.
it was just like when I read the letter, it was just like okay, ball up, throw it away, just another day in the park.
You see what I'm saying? You
Cause
conditioned to that, or where you was at.
yeah, yeah,
I'm just saying,
yeah,
you just don't know when to turn it off and how to,
yeah.
and just say, like, for example, then we talking extreme, but if you take somebody to just
Hmm.
go through like a bad relationship or
Right.
marriage breakup,
Hmm.
they'll stay in the bed for months.
Yep.
They go to work, come home,
Right.
get in the bed, don't
Right.
halfway, don't eat. Now that's a
Right.
process of grieving that. Now let me preface this by saying this. I ain't no mental health counselor, doc. I'm just
Right.
and folks be trying to take my advice and try to apply. I'm not. Let me put
Right.
that disclaimer in there. We are not mental health counselors, doc. We ain't been to
Right.
school for it. We ain't been trained for it.
We
I'm
just
just
telling you
telling
what
you,
some we just telling
right,
you what some people may do.
right, what I
You know.
seen people do.
Right.
So I'm saying they'll come home and they'll grieve for months and months and months, and then
Hmm.
some of them know how to suppress it.
Hmm.
They act like everything good and good, everything is groovy, but they
Hmm.
suppressing the hurt and pain, and they get home, cry in the house, or
Right.
they just get angry. Some people get
Right.
angry over,
And see that, and see, and like I said, when them guys are suppressing, like like you saying with the breakup,
yeah,
that's when a lot of them guys go to that's when they start killing them women.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
when they finally unleash, you know what I'm saying? It
they go,
go, they may
yeah,
intend it not to go the way that it went, but unfortunately it went that way.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They may be
yeah,
trying to restrain them, and talk to them. You know how the guys
yeah.
do,
They
like, oh,
got
let me
about a
let me
hand.
talk
Let
to
me
you for
holler
a
at you
minute.
for
Yeah,
a bit,
yeah,
yeah.
but and
And then
she
it
like,
get,
no,
yeah. I don't
yeah,
want you no more, bro.
yeah, no is no, and then hey, his mental man, he gone.
Yeah,
The next thing
and
you know, he done strangled her to death.
yeah, and the worst
You know.
thing y'all can say in a heated argument, men
Hmm.
and women alike, do not say, I don't want you no more. I want to be with him or
Oh
her.
man.
Because then that's when you're gonna see all the rage and anger that he been
Right.
suppressing for a long time. Trying, because I
Hmm.
think sometimes what they do is like, when they grieving, they'll suppress it, right, to try to look strong for her.
Hmm.
Thinking that, if I keep doing this, looking
Hmm.
strong, doing this, doing that, she gonna take me back, or he
Right.
gonna take me back.
Right.
And as soon as they find out that it ain't happening, like you said,
Hmm.
the situation like you talked about could actually
Hmm.
happen.
Yeah.
It could happen, dog, for real. And you know, we just talk about, the grief
Hmm.
thing. Another question too. Do you think it's a connection to their unhappiness? Like, you see a lot of guys is like unhappy. They ain't happy
Hmm.
with nothing.
Right.
They ain't no nothing satisfy 'em. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They just I personally think that the trauma, even when they was little, maybe their dad and mom or whatever treat them a certain way, or
Hmm.
seeing mom do dad a certain way, won't nothing he could do about it. And then he dealing with
Right.
carrying all this, he grieving all this trauma and all this stuff like that. And
Hmm.
like I said, go back to the first question: do they even know how to grieve?
Right.
Because you little, you seeing stuff
Hmm.
that you can't explain. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Some of them probably, like they carry, being bullied and stuff like that or picked on too.
Yep. Yep.
And that'll kind of, they kind of translate that over,
Yeah.
as a part of that too, is that lashing out. And like you
Yeah.
said too, they seen mom do something, or they seen dad do something. Dad ain't come
Yeah.
get them or pick them up. Dad say he gonna pick them up, but he never showed up.
Boy, been there.
All that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
sitting on the front porch, doc.
Right.
That was a
So
bad. Yo, I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you, that's a lonely feeling though. When the bugs
Right.
ain't coming and don't show up. So men, if y'all
Right.
say y'all gonna go pick them kids up, go do it. I mean,
Right.
I'm about to be 50, and that probably
Hmm.
happened when I was about 8 or however
Okay.
old I was. But you still remember
Right.
it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So
And see about me back then, probably see me. I was kind of on my own then. I was like, I won't go in with y'all.
right, that's my
You know what
point.
I'm
You was
saying?
like what? Yeah, because I was like 8, you was like 14,
Yeah,
15, somewhere in that area.
I was out and about trying to, figure out who I am. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And we sitting on the stoop.
Trying to get into something, y'all on the
Yeah.
porch.
Every car ride back now. Pops, you was no good for that. I'm just playing. I'll just let you know you was no good for that. Every car. And then after a while, mom said, he ain't coming. I mean, y'all he
Right,
just got, you know what I'm saying? So, and shout out to mom. She did make the landing soft though. You know what I'm saying? She
right.
cook us some spaghetti or get us some little stuff to make
Yeah.
make the crash. Shout out to
Boy,
mom one more time.
I didn't know you was crashing and burning like that,
Yeah,
baby
y'all,
boy.
hey, bro, we're crashing the burning. My man ain't show up. We
I
looking for
was
this
proud,
dude. We kind
man,
of
back
like,
then. Yeah, back then I was probably getting home 10, about 11, 12 o'clock. Y'all was supposed to be, I ain't know y'all was going that day.
if you were
Cause
coming home.
right, cause me, like I said, I was
Yeah.
out and about that during that time.
Yeah, man, for real,
Yeah,
for
so
real. So I'm just saying, y'all, if y'all tell them kids, y'all coming, go. I don't care if you pick them up and ride around the block and bring them back,
right,
or take them to McDonald's,
right.
get happy, do something,
Yeah,
but
get a
don't tell
happy
them
meal
you
or something.
coming and they sitting there all day. They got their bags packed. They happy to going to
Mm-hmm.
see dad to spend a weekend
Right.
with him, and then they
Mm-hmm.
don't show up all weekend.
Right.
I mean, it'll make you feel away, dog. And now let me ask you this, because I'm just going through the list of things
Mm-hmm.
that I had. Do you think they pass this on to their kids? Like the way they grieve and the way they carry that the trauma, do you think that's something that they can actually instill in their kids?
Yeah. I would say so because I could tell like how the like if the kids watch and see how they dad, especially if it's a son, in case some cases daughters too. But
Yeah.
like if a son see their dad, like, he don't never, you know, express himself or, cry,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
they can kind of pass it on. They can kind of develop that too. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like this is the way it's supposed to be. Me for as men.
Like it's normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Then
Don't you cry.
some females can do that too. Some females
Yeah.
can see their dad do that and kind of take on the
And
same
mimic it.
persona. Yeah.
Yeah. Like don't
Yep.
cry. If you fall, you better not.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised by my dad. Don't you cry. Get up.
Yep.
And that's the thing that's probably causing him trauma. He didn't ever grieve because his dad didn't, like we talked about this one time before. His
Right.
dad didn't ever say loved him,
Mm-hmm.
never showed up to graduations, football games,
Right.
basketball games,
Right.
nothing. PTA meetings. Ain't never been to a graduation. He graduated from kindergarten, middle
Right.
school,
Man,
high
that's
school,
wild.
college. He ain't been to there one of them. How you
That's
think they gonna
wild.
take that, bro? How you think a child gonna take that? Now it could go either way because with us,
Mm-hmm.
it went the opposite. Instead of us
Mm-hmm.
doing what he did, we did the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Right.
being there all the time for our
Right.
kids and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we didn't pick that up. Thank the Lord.
Right.
Saying
Right. Cause it was a lot of guys that experienced that though.
yeah, for real.
As far as like their dads won't come to get them, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
still in some cases still not doing it, you know.
I'm gonna
And I
tell
used to
you,
be like,
dog.
man, I'm like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
how do they I used to be like, how did they go to sleep at night?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't, cause like I said, we didn't come up like that. So I'm trying to figure
Yeah.
out, like the dad tell the kids, I'm coming to get you, whatever. Cause I know some cases where dad tell the kids they come and get them and the
Mm-hmm.
kids be waiting, right?
Right.
And they may not even show up until when actually they don't show up at all. What the kid to get is a phone call probably like 3 or 4 days later, and like,
Right.
hey, something came up. You can't call that same day and
Yeah,
tell
bro.
them
Yeah.
like,
Unless you was in
something
the
came
hospital
up.
about to die, like you can't.
Right. But it was multiple times. So,
Yeah.
that was what it was on that. So
Yeah.
they kind of adapted to that. They knew that's how it
Yup.
was. So I was like, man, I said, that's tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
After you get used to it though, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When after a while, when they say, "Hey, I'm coming to get you," well,
Hmm.
if you do come, there where I'm
Right.
gonna be at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't waiting around. Come get me from so and so house. You know what
Right.
I'm
You're gonna be
saying?
trying to have some fun or something. Hey, if you ain't
Yeah.
coming, I'm already in the landing spot where we're gonna have the fun at.
Well, we're gonna have the fun there, Doc,
You
because
know what I'm
you just
saying?
stood me up like 4 weekends in a row, bro. I didn't miss the birthday party at so and so house. They had a
Yep.
cookout the week after that. They had Easter egg hunt after that, and you still ain't come. Like for Easter, you think for sure he coming. He don't show up for Easter, Doc. You think you're gonna get some Easter eggs and he don't show up, Doc. So like you said,
Right.
man, it's kind of like a I'm like you. I think they do pass it down to their kids because you see some
Hmm.
kids, man, they look unhappy, bro. And then when you see
Hmm.
their dad or their mom, you're like, oh, I know why. They
And
look
it and it
unhappy.
and it's also with some kids that take on their persona, like say like if their dad hard.
Yeah,
Not meaning hard like
tough.
stand your ground hard.
Yeah,
But I'm talking about like just like we were saying, like express yourself.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
they'll try to keep it like any little thing, they'll try to keep it a secret. Like
yep,
when you can actually talk to somebody
yep,
and help you solve whatever you got going on, but they seen their parents be secretive like that.
yep,
So they take on that persona of being secretive too. And it's kind of
yeah,
like, it's almost like they got a shell or a wall put up,
yeah, yeah,
so that kind of can harm them too. You know what I mean? So
yeah. It
yeah,
does. It messes them up too. And like, listen to the black community. We ain't no therapists and nothing like that.
right.
But we would highly suggest if you
Hmm.
having issues like that, man, go see
Right.
somebody, dog. Don't get it to the point where like you freak out on somebody.
Hmm.
You had to drive through, and it's that
Hmm.
last little thing that somebody say wrong, and you find yourself locked up because you turned McDonald's out or what you know what I'm saying, or
Yeah.
Taco Bell or
Correct.
something. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just get the proper help, man, and get your kids
Hmm.
the proper help. Just like for example, if a kid, because we just seen this too, like
Hmm.
somebody's parent died at a young age,
Hmm.
and grandma got them, and they
Hmm.
wilding out.
Right.
They wild boy, they wild. They
Yeah.
they get the little money, they get
Hmm.
cars, and I can name a few, but I ain't gonna put them out there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
Right.
they wild out. And
Hmm.
all it is, man, that they didn't grieve, don't know how to grieve, and they
Hmm.
self-medicate with
Yep.
with the alcohol, the
Hmm.
weed, the women or the men or whatever, and
Right.
it's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah,
You're
so
right. That self-medication, man, that's what it is. Take the mind off of it.
yeah.
And then, well, like I said, with a case like that, with probably with the people that lost, like you said, lose their moms at an early
Mm-hmm.
age or their parents at
Yeah.
an early age, they probably feel like it's the end of the road for them too. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They feel like
Yeah.
they ain't got nobody to turn to. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Even though
Yep.
they may be, they may have some shelter,
Mm-hmm.
they probably feel like, man, like my mom, my dad, they gone early. I'm,
They
you know, I'm,
gone.
I'm
Yeah.
just, like forget everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they out of here. So I just
Yeah.
kind
So
of
it,
yeah.
yeah.
I
So
see
it's
what you're
kind of
saying.
like, yeah. So they can kind of go that route too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got, like I said, if you run across somebody like that, or somebody that's listening to this that got some kids that's like that have lost parents at a young age,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just make the environment as comfortable, as possible for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
cause you got to figure that they lost their parents.
They lost their parents. You can't come in with a hard nosed stance where this
Right.
is my house. Either you do it my
Right.
way or get out. Because most
Right.
time they gonna get out. They're
Yep.
gonna be like, all right, well, cool. I'll go stay down the street at so and so house. They
Mm-hmm.
treat me like they want me to be there. So I
Yep.
take my car and my money and I go down to so and so house and then, like they wild out just like, we was talking earlier about well, I mentioned earlier about like the gang members. You
Mm-hmm.
guys think some of these guys, man, have gotten they friends killed right in front of them. Best
Yep.
friends.
Yep.
I mean, bro. You can't.
Yeah.
It's a process. How do you grieve when you
It's like,
trying to
mhm.
like you? How do you grieve when you trying to live every day? That you never know when it's your chance, your turn now. So you gotta just all day, and you ain't got that time to just sit back and just
and
do it.
see and see that situation like that, man, you gotta say it like that, but that's like the military on
Yep.
homeland.
Yep.
Because like you said, you see your buddy get knocked off, whether it's
Yep.
friendly fire or
Whatever.
enemy fire.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, you don't know when your day.
You don't know when your day
Like
coming,
you
bro.
can't like over here at the home front, you talking about with gangland stuff. You can't even go to the store. And you don't know if you go, like, the store might be 100 yards away from your crib or the spot where you hanging at.
Right.
And
You
that might be your last day. You might make it to the
you
store, but when you
never
walking back
know.
across the street,
It might
that's
get
it.
you. Yeah, you
Yep.
never know. And like I said, man, in the grieving process, when you don't grieve,
Yeah.
I think you get full of
It,
anger. Like you think about
that's why they get back.
the get back. It's
Yeah,
so
that's the
much
get back.
anger that, I wanna it's like self-fulfilling. It feels good to
Mm-hmm.
me. If I saw him die, I got to see somebody else. And it
Yep.
just the process and it just keeps going over and over and over. And ain't
Yep.
nobody grieving, ain't nobody doing nothing. But how do you think grieving affects the wife or just the household in general? We probably kind of touched over that a little bit. How do you think
Mm-hmm.
that affect the house and the wife? Because the wife is the one that got to deal with the crazy joke all the time. The kids,
Mm-hmm.
the kids, they go to school.
Right.
They get a release when they go to school, and the wife,
Mm-hmm.
she go to work, come home,
Mm-hmm.
he's sitting in the house cleaning the gun. Like you don't know if it's like like what is going on, bro? Like I'm like she coming out like, yo, bro,
you
this.
you right. And
I'm
see, that's
saying,
you right though. I mean, but I guess to each his own, if I can use vets,
uh-huh.
to each his own, like each individual wife know what veteran they got in their house.
Right, right,
So they
right.
they they can pretty much handle it, deal with it. They adapt to it or whatever. They know what it
Mm-hmm.
is. They know what make them tick.
Yeah,
They know what make them whatever, right? Make them
yeah.
go, make them don't go, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say this to the women. Um, I've said this before to some people before too.
Mm-hmm.
Now that say like a woman is living with a vet, right?
Mm-hmm.
They already know the flaws that vet got.
Yep.
So if something happened to that vet, pass on, divorce
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, you that I always advise the woman, now don't go out and look for to get you another vet if you think it's just all about the money or
G
whatever,
line.
because that next vet you get, you already know the vet that you lost or
Yeah.
you divorced or whatever, you already know his flaws, you know how to deal with,
Yeah.
his mood swings, this
Yeah.
and that. Now this next vet might be an Agent Orange vet.
Yeah. He
And
might
he
might
might
not have no
be,
scripture for that roster die.
he might be next level. So
Yeah.
like I say, I like when I'm using vets on this section right here.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
can add on to something else if you want to, but that's why I said about them vets. Each individual household know how to deal with that vet that's in their house. They know what he like. They know what makes him tick.
Mm-hmm.
They know what make him edgy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they
So
kind of know that.
so that's what I'm saying. How does it affect the wife? Because you think about this,
Mm-hmm.
person, they the
Mm-hmm.
wife. They married to
Mm-hmm.
a crazy vet. I'm talking
Right.
about I'm talking about you slam the door too hard. You you know what
I'm
I'm
with
saying?
you.
You got,
I'm with you.
you got to slam it, you got to close it the right touch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The food too hot, he might throw it off the table. You don't know
Right.
who you got, man. You know what I'm saying? He
Oh
just
yeah, they need to send him to Durham VA.
you see
Yeah, he
right.
need to go ahead on up to Durham, if he
But but
like
you,
that.
but I'm saying, like does it affect how she operates as a wife? Because like a wife
Yeah.
got to be able to be free. You know what I'm saying? And if
Mm-hmm.
you come in the house, and like I said, he cleaned weapons, he got them broke all
Mm-hmm.
down on the floor, and he like every day, bro, you're like, look, like after a while, it start the psyche, start
Right.
messing with a woman. She be like, look, I'm gonna pack the kids up in the middle of the night. And we gonna take off on this nigga.
Right.
I'm telling I know I would.
Right.
I'm
And
telling you,
me too.
I would.
Me too. Me too. And I'm a vet myself. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
I
telling
would
you,
too.
man. Because you think about it, a person can only take so much. We outline how
Mm-hmm.
the veterans, how they
Mm-hmm.
and the gang members and just kids in general, how they,
Mm-hmm.
the trauma,
Mm-hmm.
that for not grieving. And you think about a woman, she already got her own issues, and
Right.
then she got this grown baby on top of him. Everything got to
Mm-hmm.
be his way. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And everything, if it ain't his way, it's a problem. If it's
Right.
too cold in the house, it's a problem. It's too warm.
Right.
What do you do? Like it gotta affect her just mentally to the point where she's like, you know what? I'm hoping for two
Yeah.
things. If we can sneak out of here and take off,
Right.
or the Negro pass away. Some
Yeah.
one of the two. I'm just being for real. Like, I
And
ain't saying
that's
that's that could be a thought process,
right.
you
And,
know.
that's a bad thing when
It is.
they gotta, the spouse. Well, since we talking about the wife, that's a bad thing
Mhm.
when the wife gotta walk around on eggshells.
Yeah, all day long, bro.
You
Because
know
you
what I'm
never know
saying?
what's gonna trigger him. Because
Right.
he's so used to being in the military in these war zones.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can trigger him. Now, I will say this, and this kind of off of what we talking about. I remember a
Mm-hmm.
while back, a lot of guys was coming home from Iraq and they
Mm-hmm.
was killing their wives.
Right.
Now you're a vet. You probably could speak to this probably better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've been over there, so you probably could
Right.
speak to it better than I can. So a lot of them was killing their wives. And I
Mm-hmm.
got to think, I said, wait a minute, bro, hold up. So you mean to tell me he in the war zone?
Mm-hmm.
He over there, he don't kill nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Soon as he get home, she the first one. She the first one he get.
I already got an answer for you. But go ahead on, keep talking.
I'm just saying, like I was telling you, I was like, bro, it ain't. You can't call it postpartum. Somebody done something
And see,
that won't
that's
right.
what I yeah, that's where I was going with it because that happens all the time.
Yeah.
See, well, good thing with me, see, I won't in it when I won't married when I was in.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
about like what we talked about last week, I want an older vet
Mm-hmm.
that went in, at a later
Right.
age or
Right.
whatever. Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of those guys be married. Some of the young guys get married too. But when those guys come back like that, man, and they take their wives out and stuff like that, or girlfriends. I'm talking about taking them
Yeah.
out, like kill them or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They don't put it in the media. They try to keep it as hush hush as they can.
Yeah.
But stuff like that happen, man. They done got caught up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went through, they had so many guys that was coming back home with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They
Right.
when they signed these power of attorneys. So when I
Mm-hmm.
left, you had to have they sign them. What they call a, if I remember right, they call it it's a specialized or some power of attorney. Only certain things they can sign off on. These
Mm-hmm.
guys are coming home, bro. Household,
Yep.
car gone, money gone,
Yep.
wife gone, and they
Yep.
ain't had nothing. So I'm just
Yep.
like, anyway, I'm gonna come on back to the way go the folk. They might not like
Oh
me
yeah.
talking about that dog, you
Oh
know how
yeah.
that
Oh
go.
yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, to touch
Yeah.
back on what you were saying, that was pretty much it though.
Yeah.
Like I said, like they get caught up when they come back,
Yeah.
and and then they
Yeah.
get taken out, and then like I said, yeah, a vet is a vet in most cases, but like you said, some guys will be overseas and they ain't even been in no combat zone.
Right.
Like you said, they could have just been in Germany or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just using
Yeah.
Germany like army
Yep.
base or
That's
whatever.
yep.
I was in the
Mm-hmm.
Corps. But when they come home, like if they leave their wife behind, when they come home, man, they get caught up, man, because like
Yeah.
I know how that game worked because, like I said, when I was in Norfolk,
Mm-hmm.
You know, I won't marry, but I used to see cats, man. They be like want to jump off the edge, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, yo, man, you gonna be all right, dog.
Yeah.
And I used to see that, and then like when we used to club,
Yeah.
and when we club, say like you've been on Norfolk base before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When them aircraft carriers go out,
Mm-hmm.
and man, like you get 2 or 3 aircraft carriers go. I don't know how many is on there now. I'm gonna just say about 4,000 cats up there on each one of
Mm-hmm.
them. If you get them aircraft carriers and on battleships and stuff like that started going out for like a week or two before they working doing they be doing
Yeah.
exercise before they go overseas, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they go out, when they leave port, the club is full that night.
Oh, 100%.
I got to break it to them, but that's what it is. You know what I'm
Is what
saying?
it
Like, so
is, man.
a lot of people don't want to hear that, but hey, when them ships back out in Norfolk Naval Base, when they go out, hey, the club's full
And they
that
pack
same night.
the
That
same
same
night.
night.
And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That I think that kind of on both parts,
Yeah.
when he come back, it plays to them. We always got to look at the root. The root is they probably had childhood trauma. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't grieve. They had somebody
Mm-hmm.
die and they want to be strong and they didn't grieve. And
Right.
then it all come to a head. Now, so how do you
Mm-hmm.
think how do you think churches play a part, or how do they play a part in the grieving process?
Well, they gonna have to get these groups. Like
Yeah,
for us churches concerned, they're gonna have to try to get these mentor groups or something, man.
yeah,
That's the only way. Or like what we trying to do,
mm-hmm.
like with the Man Talk platform.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So, cause the guys gonna have to talk about it. Like I say, all the stuff that you talking about, like,
go ahead to
I
get
done
it out.
witnessed it
Yeah,
or done been through it. So, I mean, it
yeah,
ain't no secret. Like I said, cats like us, we can speak on, talk on it. Whatever we talking
yeah.
about, we done seen it or either done been a part of it.
And
So
that's
it
what
ain't
I'm
like
saying.
so it ain't like we just getting up here just bashing or just throwing shade or whatever. We done
Yeah,
live some of the most, a lot of this stuff.
that's what I'm saying.
And
I ain't getting up here
yeah,
just talking it. I seen it, and I'm
right. And
not.
see a lot of,
You know.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, like they can talk with, us. Or like I said, that's how the churches can help. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I
Talk with
think
these
so
guys,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, have like these like you said, man, I think they should. I think the ones that don't, I think they should partner with like mental health groups and have them
Mm-hmm.
come out in a have the guys have a safe haven where they can come out
Mm-hmm.
where they won't be looked at as crazy. Cause as soon as you
Right.
say shrink
Yeah.
or something like that, man, you crazy. You're gonna see a shrink. And that's not the
Right.
name of them, bro. That was it's a therapist, bro. Like,
Yeah.
everybody need that. You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
pastor could be could be one of a
Right.
therapist to help you. It's just helping you getting through the baggage. And to
Mm-hmm.
the churches start to partner with people, man, and start, bringing them groups in. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of the ways. I know people, church folk. I'm one myself. I know we got to pray. And I know we got to
Yeah.
seek the Lord. And I know we got to quote the scriptures. And I know we got to do all
Mm-hmm.
that. That's
Right.
I'm not denying that. But what I am saying is that sometimes people do all of that and they
You got to
still
put
got
some
these issues.
you got to put some work in.
Still got
Yeah.
these
Hey.
issues, bro.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, y'all churches, man, we got to step up because, we kind of starting to look like the laughing stock. You know what I'm saying? So we got to kind of
Yeah,
step
man.
up, man, because you think about it, man. Folks go to talk about church, first thing they talk about is money. Man, them old lying
Yep.
preachers.
Yep. That's what it is now, man. It's like a corporation now.
Yeah. And all of them
That's
ain't like that. Your pastor
right.
ain't like that. Mine's ain't
Right.
like that. I know some other
Right.
good ones that ain't like that. It's just if y'all would stop chasing
Mm-hmm.
the shiny object because you want to be
Yep.
tied to a certain ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been in big ministry
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in a small ministry, smaller
Mm-hmm.
ministry. And most bigger ministries, you basically a number. Or
That's it.
that I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. If y'all
Yeah,
want to
that's it.
know, you won't have access to the pastor. Only
Nope.
time you're gonna have, you got to set up appointments through this department, and this one got to get it to this one and get it to that one. And if you got some real issues going on,
Right.
It might be too late when he get to your point might be in July, and you feel
Right.
like taking somebody out tonight, so you can't pick
Yeah.
up the phone and call them. That's the
Right.
difference in you having a big ministry than a smaller, intimate ministry, and you helping them
Mm-hmm.
grow it into something versus plugging into something because of a name.
Right.
I'm telling y'all.
Yeah, that's how we are. We got this, small, you know about us,
Oh yeah,
smaller
yeah, for sure.
ministry or whatever, but you can reach out and touch our pastor anytime, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like he amongst us guys all the time. So, like you
and
said, if you need to see him, you ain't got to make no appointment.
it's got to be like that, man. In order for to set these dudes free that's going through this, it's like this drama, trauma,
Mm-hmm.
grieving. If you're in a big church and you trying to keep up this persona, you got the nice suit, the nice car, but you and your wife fuss all the way
Right.
to church, go in
Right.
smiling. Hey, everybody, get back in the car, fuss all the way back home and fuss all week to
Right.
Tuesday or Wednesday whenever you have service. Hey, y'all, dude, that ain't, I'm just saying it ain't happening because that's the kind of, not all of them. I ain't gonna bunch all of them
Mm-hmm.
in it. I'm just talking about from my experience. Like I said, when we talk about,
Oh
I
yeah.
experienced it or I
Yeah.
seen it. So I'm talking
Seen
about
it.
from my perspective, from what I've seen, is that if you're in a big ministry, a lot of them are taught to drive certain things, wear
Yep.
certain things, live in
Yep.
certain things, have a certain amount of
Yep.
money. If you don't, some of them even has gone as far. Now I ain't been in this, nothing like this, but I know
Mm-hmm.
some people who have that
Right.
they want to see your tax returns to
Oh
make
yeah.
sure you make
Oh
sure they
yeah.
match them tied and off and match up. And
Yeah,
they better match.
we got one or two of them in Rocky Mount here. Yeah, we
They better
already and the people that listen to this video, I ain't gonna call. They know the name. They
you better
already know the name.
yeah, and it better match. Because if
Yeah.
it don't, we got a problem. We need the
Yep.
rest of that by the end of the. I'm just saying, like, how do you
Mm-hmm.
expect men to get free or women? Because I ain't gonna leave them
Mm-hmm.
out. They go through some drama too. How do you think
Mm-hmm.
men or women are supposed to get free if that's the thing that they're teaching? You can't.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no way
Right.
now. You're teaching the kids. I remember years ago. Years ago, this is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. So one of the guys, he might know who I'm talking about. Well, I'm gonna say it anyway. So he
You
was
ain't calling
he
his name, so he
I ain't yeah, I
hey,
ain't,
you ain't called no names, so
yeah. So I'm like, so we was like his son was probably like he may have been 7,
mm-hmm.
somewhere in there. He was a little dude, had a little baby suit on and all that. So
Mm-hmm.
he was like, and he was at the time he was in business doing all this. And so his son, he was talking about some. He said, "Give one of your business cards."
Mm-hmm.
His little boy reaches in his pocket. Hey, give one of the business cards, dog, with his dad's
Right.
name on it. You know what I'm saying? So it was just
Right.
like, okay, I understand. But bro, at some point,
Mm-hmm.
you got like you cannot free men and women that's going through this type and kids that's going through this stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Right. And like you said, with them big ministries, like I said, we got a couple, about the ministries that we got here. We got a
Oh
few
yeah,
big
for
ones
sure.
here.
Yep.
And you got the ministries here, like, if you call the name and if you ain't a part of them, it's
Yeah.
almost like you ain't nothing. It's like, you know
You
what I'm
ain't
saying?
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on with so and so. Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
I go, I'm with so and so, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And but like you said, you ain't really getting nowhere. You just showboat, like you said, teaching guys, like what kind of cars to get, how to,
Yeah.
what kind of clothes to wear and all that. But you still struggling, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And like I'm saying, ain't nothing wrong with that. God wants us to have the best of the best. I understand it.
Right.
That don't think
Right.
I'm not saying that, but what I am
That's
saying
right.
is that I think me personally, I think that we should be more focused on getting the men and the women and the kids
Mm-hmm.
free, and then
Right.
they'll be more freer to be able to do other things because you have them and they're focused on hey, get the money, 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 money,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody unhappy. They
Right.
fussing all the time. The dad ain't never home because he chasing a dollar, and then
Right.
she chasing the dollar. He come home. They see each other total of 3 hours total all week. That the
Right.
kid in the room, he doing whatever he want to do because ain't nobody focusing on him.
Hey, yeah,
And then what you think you're gonna get? You're gonna
that's
get a
right.
you're gonna get a mess, Doc. You're
You
gonna get
see,
a
it ain't,
mess.
like I said, I know we need that paper, but it ain't, you don't need to
Yeah.
sacrifice like
You
that though.
that what you're
You know what
doing.
I'm saying? Yeah, you
You
don't need to
sacrificing.
sacrifice like that. Yeah,
So what we saying to y'all before we get out of here is listen, if y'all dealing with some stuff, I'm just saying, get some help. Like ain't nothing
right.
wrong with it, dog. Go talk to a pastor, a counselor, or something. Matter of fact, most jobs now, if you got insurance, they
Yeah.
get to you free
Yeah,
to
they got
talk
that
to
number on they
somebody.
got that number on the back of the insurance card.
Ain't no excuse no more, y'all. Y'all
Hey, the
used to
one
say
eight
it used to
hundred.
cost. Yeah, you said it used to cost and don't cost no more. It's free.
Right.
Ain't no excuse. So what I'm saying, get y'all self together, Doc. Hey,
Right.
we thank y'all for joining Man Talk 133. Hey, look, comment, subscribe, share, whatever y'all got to do, man. And till next time, we out.
Yeah.
Peace.